$2,200 bonus Social Security checks. I have all the details for you here in the video and what they're now saying. Let's get into it and talk through the details. All right, now first off, just to put this into context, the average Social Security benefit right now is just under $2,000 per month. So keep that number in mind, about $2,000 per month on average across the board for Social Security beneficiaries. However, let me ask you a quick question. If you were receiving either the average $2,000 per month or $2,200 per month, would you consider that to be a bonus payment? I'd love to hear your comments down below. And again, if you don't want to share, that's totally fine too. I always just appreciate hearing from those of you here in the community. And again, thank you so much for that. However, let me share with you what they're now saying about this and a potential plan going forward as far as these ideas that are being floated. Basically benefits above $2,200 a month and benefits below $2,200 a month. That is the line in the sand as of right now, based on the most recent information. But obviously that number could change either higher or lower. But let me share with you. Okay. Now remember those numbers I mentioned. Again, $2,000, $2,200. And again, remember this phrase, bonus payment or bonus check. Okay, I think that's honestly a little bit weird to call it that, but let me share with you what's being said. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of beneficiaries getting well below $2,000 or $2,200 per month, and there's plenty of beneficiaries that get significantly higher than that. But here's what they've suggested behind this, and again, a little bit of the plan that's out there. Okay, so here's what they're saying, is that basically what they did is they ran a bunch of studies on this, and they did surveys and all kinds of information collecting, and they found that basically anybody getting above about $2,200 per month, and again, I'm just kind of rounding numbers here, but it's about $2,200 per month, they consider that to be a bonus payment. But how? And who are these people, right? Okay, let me share with you the details. So what they found is that the higher the beneficiary, the higher the benefit the beneficiary receives, is that they typically have more sources of income. Okay, now again, the higher and higher the benefit goes, generally the more money that that person has. Now again, that kind of makes sense, right? If somebody's receiving a higher benefit, they probably earned a whole lot more throughout their working career. They probably have other income sources, maybe like a pension, maybe dividend income, maybe portfolio income, maybe they're still working and earning a very high income. I mean, there's all kinds of other sources of income that somebody may have. And generally, these individuals typically look at, not every single person, I can't speak for everybody, but typically the higher the benefit, the more that the beneficiary actually determines that money as more of a bonus payment rather than just like, hey, this is a monthly stipend that I need to live on every single month. However, the opposite is also true. The lower and lower that they get on the income scale, as in the beneficiary scale, as in the benefit checks, so the lower that they go below $2,200 is that they find that these individuals more and more rely on their monthly benefit for the vast majority of or all of their monthly benefit or their income, right? And again, makes perfect sense. We've heard studies like this before, and again, it logically makes sense as well, right? So again, that's kind of where they're coming in with this line in the sand of about $2,200 per month, as they kind of feel like anybody below that threshold typically relies on the vast majority of their benefit for either all or the huge percentage of their income, and anybody above that, you know, they rely on it, yes, but not nearly as much, especially the higher and higher that you go on the benefit scale, which, by the way, right now, the maximum benefit you can get is $5,108. Could you imagine that? Would that be life-changing? Would that maybe be a little bit something to dream about? Now, obviously, if you're getting a benefit significantly below that, it would be like very much impossible to get to that level. I mean, you could, well, not really, but my point is, it's something to dream about, and it's certainly something to think about. That'd be really, really awesome. That's what, $60-some thousand a year from Social Security? Not a bad income, right? I mean, that's nearly as much as the average person earns on an annualized basis from working. That's crazy, right? Could you imagine that? Pulling that out of your mailbox, or metaphorical mailbox, more like deposited into your bank account every single month, and over the course of the entire year, not a bad income. Anyway, so here's what they're saying, is that basically because of this, because of these higher income beneficiaries having multiple other sources of income and relying on their Social Security more as like, not necessarily a necessity, but more like a luxury, like, hey, this is a bonus, you know, I'm getting my other income from my pensions, my dividends, my portfolio income, my rental income, whatever they happen to also have alongside that, or their earned income. They're still working and taking down a nice six-figure salary. For a lot of these people that are been working for 30, 35, 40 years, something like that, they're probably earning quite a bit of money, 6+ figures. They're getting a really nice income. So basically what they're finding is that, hey, maybe we should not be giving these beneficiaries as high of a check because they're considering it a bonus payment. It's not a necessity check. It is not a essentials check. It is not a, hey, this is going to pay for my lifestyle check, but rather the kind of like, hey, this is my nice little bonus, and they're getting this payment. Now, again, if somebody has worked and they've earned all this income and they are getting these big payments or whatever, it doesn't matter the check amount from Social Security, I mean, technically, everybody's kind of earned it at that point, right? And again, we're all very defensive about our benefit because it's like we put the time in, we paid the money in, we earned this benefit, right? And again, rightfully so. Everybody has earned their benefit. So that's why we're all very protective about it. But basically what they've suggested is that, hey, maybe these higher income beneficiaries maybe shouldn't be receiving a benefit significantly higher than the average benefits. And maybe we should start reducing these higher income benefits at some point, reducing their benefits, maybe limiting their access to COLA, the annual cost of living adjustment or COLA raise, maybe limiting their access to that, and possibly even reducing their monthly benefit checks, and then taking that money and pushing it on over to lower income beneficiaries, and possibly at some point meeting in the middle at what they call equilibrium. Equilibrium is down the middle, right? So basically like equally weighted. But then the situation with that is, first off, it would take a long time, like 20 years is what they would say, is that something like this would actually take as far as shaving down benefits of higher income beneficiaries, shuffling that money over to lower income beneficiaries, and then meeting somewhere in the middle at equilibrium. That take a very long time, about 20 years according to what I was reading on this, but an interesting plan. But here's the interesting thing as well, and we've seen this in other iterations of other plans that are out there, which is, hey, maybe higher income beneficiaries should see a cap on their benefit. Now, obviously, the maximum benefit does have a cap. Again, $5,108 is the maximum right now, but it continues to move higher every single year because of the COLA and things like that. And again, at what point do they come in and say, hey, enough's enough? I don't really think anybody should be getting over $60, $65, whatever $1,000 a year from Social Security. At what point do they put a cap on this and say, enough is enough, we're good, we can cap these benefits out? As of right now, there isn't a cap, and there's no plan to cap that. But there is discussion to possibly come in and do that because of these reasons here, right? And we've also heard other lawmakers as well. And remember, lawmakers, they earn a pretty nice income. A couple $100,000 a year, not a bad income, right? And a lot of them, not everybody, but a lot of them are also getting Social Security benefits alongside their income, right? So again, there's been lawmakers that have come out over the years and have suggested, I don't need this. I'm getting it because I can and because I've essentially paid in and I've earned it and it's eligible to be claimed by me, but I don't really need this extra, few $1,000s a month. So they have come out on public record and said this. And that's not everybody. But in general, the vast majority of people that earn these higher income Social Security benefits probably feel mainly the same way. And again, I obviously can't speak for everybody, but this is kind of the consensus that is out there. But then again, this is kind of where the whole discussion comes in of the bonus check payment, right? As far as, hey, somebody getting a higher benefit. And again, maybe it's higher than $2,200, but just from what I was reading on this, they were suggesting $2,200 is about the line in the sand where they found anybody above that kind of considers it to be, it's kind of like a bonus, right? It's kind of awesome. It's kind of aside from my monthly income, whatever they happen to be getting other income from. There's a variety of other sources they could be getting paid from, but they kind of look at it that way, right? But anyway, this is kind of one of the iterations that is out there, and one of the situations and the discussions is, hey, we should cap them off, limit their access to the COLA, shave their benefits down because they're considering it a bonus, maybe make that bonus a little bit less generous, and push that money over to the lower income beneficiaries who are getting significantly less, who call theirs a safety net or necessity payment to pay for their living, their lifestyle, their necessities, their food, their clothing, their health care, their rent, their medical, their utilities, all these details like this, push it over to them, and then there you go. Everybody wins as a result. I guess even the higher income beneficiaries, you would have to think that they might feel like, I don't really like the idea of my benefit being shaved down, being reduced a little bit, and my access to the COLA being denied and not being available. But at the same time, I feel like maybe in their conscience, they would think, hey, at least the money's being used for a good purpose. It's being pushed over to lower income people who rely on that money for more of the necessities. And there you go. Everybody wins as a result. Now, here's one thing that I don't necessarily think would be a good idea with this program. eventually bringing benefits to parity with each other, as in equilibrium, bringing high income benefits down, low income benefits up, and then meeting in the middle at somewhere in the middle. Here's why I think like it's kind of a cool plan, but I don't really think is all that feasible. Number one, it changes the whole focus and basically the whole like parameters of the Social Security program into a guaranteed basic income program. That's not how this program was set up. It was not set up as a guaranteed basic income program. It was set up as a program that basically you pay in for X number of years, you collect these work credits, they look at all your income over 35 years, and then they determine what your benefit's going to be. I do agree raising benefits up to at least a minimum of the federal poverty line, possibly higher than that, and at least putting it a floor in there. But turning Social Security into a guaranteed basic income program, I don't know about that. I don't know if that'd be the best approach for everybody going forward. I don't know if that would really serve the people, because at the end of the day, I can tell you this much. If they turned it into a guaranteed basic income program, wherever that benefit happened to land, I guarantee you this much, it'd be too low. I know that for a fact. It would be too low. It'd come in way too low, and then everybody would be stuck. And then we've got a bigger population, a much larger set of people trying to enter their retirement and live their retirement on a much significantly smaller benefit, and everybody's going to say the same thing. It's too small. That's it, right? So again, I don't foresee Social Security turning into a guaranteed basic income program, but that is some of the discussion and some of the potential like changes that people have floated, ideas that people have floated is, hey, why don't we turn it into a guaranteed basic income program, right? Bring the higher income benefits down, bring the lower income benefits up. We'll meet in the middle somewhere at some point in the future, way out, 20 years or so, and that might be the plan. I don't know if that's the best thing. I don't think that would serve the beneficiary. I'm not saying that people shouldn't get higher benefits. I absolutely think that, yes, lower income people should absolutely 100% get at least a federal poverty line benefit or better, 100%. And that shouldn't be like a thing we have to wait years for. That should more be like an instant, okay, approve that, get it done, raise the benefits up, help the beneficiaries. That should be done quickly, right? So yeah, 100% agree with that, but I certainly think there could be some changes around this program that not only push out the longevity of the program, as in, push out insolvency many decades into the future. They could do that easily by making a couple simple shifts on this program and changing a few things, ultimately lifting beneficiaries and changing some of the provisions of the program that have been in place for almost 90 years now, or many decades, that are very outdated. This program needs to change with the times. I mean, here's the thing. Everything has to change and update with the times. One thing that hasn't done that is pretty much Social Security. It's just been sitting there doing the same thing year after year, and it's not working. We've got to figure it out and do something for the beneficiaries that actually makes sense with the current times that we're in, right? Yeah. Anyway, I hope this helps you to some degree. Again, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I'm watching the details closely. I'm bringing it to your attention in these videos. And again, advocating and representing you in any way that I possibly can. I get it. It's a tough time out there, and I want to bring to the attention of anybody just, hey, let's look at the big benefits. Let's look at the overall picture of what Social Security is doing and how this program is serving some and really not serving a lot of others who are receiving lower income benefits. Anyway, again, I hope this helps you. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you're new here, or if you've not done so, thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel. It's 100% free to do so. Again, big subscribe button right down below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Also, feel free to share this video. If you can think of anybody, one or two people that benefit from this video, or your social media, anybody like that, feel free to share this video. There's a share button right down below as well. It's 100% free. Thank you so much. Also, check out the thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section, and right now showing up on your screen as well. You'll see some videos popping up there. Check out one of those. Otherwise, just please have a nice day. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you so much for being part of the community. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to advocate and represent for you. Thank you for your trust in me and this channel and this content. And thank you so much. Please just have a nice day. And I really, really hope I can see you again soon in the next